South Harrow Baptist in London is Rick's childhood church. It's a place that's influenced him like no other.
I think this church actually shaped my life. From 1953 right the way through till I was about 20 years old. I must have spent 3-4 days a week down here. The people I met, plus friends that I made, plus what I learnt about faith, Christianity. In fact, everything I suppose that was good about life, I learned here. I'm not sure quite what sort of person I might have become had I not spent so much time down here. So this church will always have a very, very, very special place in my heart.
The church hall also holds memories for Rick. This rock and roll star used to be a Sunday school teacher, albeit one with unorthodox methods.
I used to sit almost in this very spot, except that I wasn't on my own. I had 8 small chairs around me and 8 9-year-old kids. Yeah, I was a Sunday school teacher and I loved it. I was also a little bit sort of different as well. I had an old Vauxhall Victor. And what I used to do, I used to pick all the kids up in this car. Wouldn't be allowed to do it these days because I used to squeeze 9 of them in. Some were in the boot, some were in the back, some were hanging out the windows, roof rack. You'd be arrested these days, I'd be in prison. We'd go up to South Harrow Park and we'd have sort of lemonade and crisps. And we'd still carry on talking about all the things we'd talked about here in church. I was accused by some of the other teachers of bribery because they only had 2 kids in their class. But the truth of the matter was, my kids loved coming. They thoroughly enjoyed it, and a lot of them became stalwarts of the church in later years. So the Wakeman method wasn't a bad one, really.
Before Rick leaves, he's in for a surprise, a reminder of his Sunday school days.
Oh, wow. A 58 Vauxhall Victor. This is fantastic. Right colour, right interior. Oh, I hope this is a present from Alid. How on earth did I get 9 8-year-olds in my Vauxhall Victor? Couple in the front, possibly 4 in the back. That's 6. 1 on the parcel shelf. Oh, this is so many great memories.
Well, Rick, we were singing there about being valiant against disasters. Life hasn't been plain sailing since those days in South Harrow Baptist, has it?
No, I've had some rocky trips. Yeah, some big ones, actually. But I think it's a matter of how you treat them. I've been in some pretty bad situations in my life. But if you feel positive that there is light at the end of the tunnel and somewhere to go. You can do it. It's also a great time when you're at your lowest, where you find out who your friends are. You really do. And more often than not, it's the people you least expect who are your friends. And that's something that I found out.
But interesting, because you were having such amazing highs. You were travelling the world, you were singing and performing the music that you absolutely love, and yet you were having a bad time of it.
Yeah, I had a real bad time. I suppose it culminated in Australia, really. And I think you come to periods of your life as you sort of get a bit older. We're going back, this is 1985. And you start to question why am I doing this? I was just going from hotel room to hotel room. Things were going really good, but I wasn't feeling great. I knew that God was always with me, although I have to admit, I mean, there's lots of times when, you know, perhaps you wish he wasn't. Sometimes when you're up to tricks, I was a very heavy drinker and things like that, you'd go, and you knew, so said, don't keep telling me, you know, that kind of thing. But I was sitting in a hotel room in Australia, as I say, in 1985, and there was a lot of things going through my head at the time, and I suppose it was at that actual moment, and I've always prayed a lot and still do, but shall we just say I got the most perfect signal in the transmitter and the
What was God saying to you then?
He just said, it's time to evaluate your life, where you want to go. Be positive where you want to go and what you want to do. It's not going to be a simple road. There will always be problems. But I got very loud and clear, but if you walk it, I'm there with you.
So how have you changed as a person?
What I tried to do was be brutally honest and say, okay, that's not a bad trait. That's okay, that's good. But also to equally look at the things that I didn't like. It took a few years, is to slowly eradicate the bits that I didn't like about myself.
Let's have some more music. It's going to be Amazing Grace. Why does this resonate so much with you?
Well, it is. It's the most wonderful Newton hymn, and it's just quite special. But there's been some wonderful tunes over the years, but of course there's the one that is now used universally. And the tragedy was Newton never got to hear it.
Absolutely. Well, he's probably listening up there now, and he'll probably hear it in a few seconds. You've roped in a certain Welshman not a million miles away to sing it with you.
Well, nobody else would do it.
Oh, OK. Well, I'd love to. Should we get on with it?
Absolutely.
Come on.
be fast begun.
Well, now it's everyone here's turn to sing, and you at home, and another hymn that praises God for all he's done for us. It's Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven.